We sang songs, we laughed, we drank, and then he just said he was I shouldn't have left him.
Hey, this isn't your fault.
We'll find him. Ready?
Which direction do you go?
Well, if he was looking for you guys, maybe we retrace our steps to wherever... Did he know where they lived?
I don't think so.
Well, we were all going to meet, yes, at that...
He knew it was the windowed wall, so he would have headed in that direction.
And we were all going to go to the vertical gardens, if you remember.
I think he took off this way, and I'll point toward their place.
Okay. So as the five of you trek out into the darkened streets of the core spire, wandering through what you assume to be the path someone like him might take when...
Is it still very dark?
It's still very dark. I mean, it's a relatively clear night, and you can see Katha is, you know, partially, not completely full, maybe like 3/4 waxing. So you have a decent amount of white light that's kind of hitting the stones of the street and framing some of the buildings.
Okay, I'm gonna hold up my hand, and 3 little flickering spheres of like lightning energy are gonna come out of my hand and cast like a kind of a purplish glow wherever I send them to see in corners and...
Cool. You see a couple of kind of dirtied miners that are making their way from the smolder spire kind of react to the sudden flare of energy and just kind of take a wide berth as they walk past the group, but you continue forward. If I could have each of you in the group roll a perception check for me, please.
All right. Jesus, such dog shit.
22.
20.
20.
19.
Wow.
Okay. As a group, especially when you're driven and working together, you can pick up a lot of detail in the environment. You come upon one person you see slumped at the edge of the gutter, and as you approach nervously, they kind of react and turn and look, and it just looks to be a person who had a long night at one of the taverns. It is definitely not Bertrand. Going on for a bit, you begin to second guess whether you're worrying for no reason, until you're the first to see in one of the alleys to the right what looks to be a dark shape left about 10 feet back on the ground, vaguely humanoid.
I mean, maybe it just means he's like shady or something, you know?
I don't know if I trusted him.
Hold here for a second. I'm gonna creep into the alley.
As you approach, kind of going through the motions of stealthy arrival, you feel your heartbeat begin to beat faster and higher up in your chest. Your throat begins to close slightly with the eventual reveal of familiar details, as this is indeed a person lying on the ground. They're not moving, but it is indeed Bertrand Bell.
Y'all just see Orm turn back to you all.
I send my lights over.
I start to slowly walk over.
I'm gonna stay back.
I'll rush over to Orm.
With the lights, the crackling, kind of purplish pink energy that lights the space, it is definitively Bertrand, and that brief little glimmer in your mind of maybe he just got drunk and fell asleep sinks into a deep, fearful sadness as you can see the pool of still wet blood that has encircled him and the numerous puncture wounds that are visible on the chest. Oddly, serenely smiling.
Fuck. I mean, he's got this pin on him. You know, he talked about Vox Machina. Maybe we can send him back to Taldore, where he said he was from.
Yeah, to his friends.
I don't know, Lord Estros, is it possible to send a body?
He's currently he has a small stack of books off to the side that he hasn't touched in a little bit, and he's going over some notes, and he has his glasses. He goes,
if you think that would be best, we can certainly arrange for him to be transported, yes.
I wish there was a way we could tell them that he's coming.
We don't even know where to send it or who to send it to. Maybe it's easier to just send his personal effects back, but we still would need somewhere to send.
Well, if that pin on his chest is legit, there are a few places to send him. Could send him to, if you have the means.
The Prudage estate does hold specifically a skyship. I have it at my disposal. Or I will when it returns, but it can be arranged.
Could either send him to Whitestone or to Zephyr. Both back in Taldori.
Is Zephyr where you're from? Why? And you think someone there would care for the body?
Well, the symbol on his chest. You know, he's a colorful guy. I didn't know what to make of it, but he's wearing a symbol connected to people in Whitestone and where I'm from.
What if it's a fake? Bertrand did like to tell tall tales.
That's what I'm saying. But it's either that or we decide and do something here.
I don't know either. I don't know. I don't think any of us know him well enough to know what his wishes would be.
Well, he was quite the adventurer.
With the dead. Just kidding.
If you are inquiring about the legitimacy of his claims, as I do with everyone I do business with, I look in to see what their history might have. Not terribly deep for each of you so far. Mostly. But I can say that there was a thread of truth, the extent of which I'm uncertain, but their paths have crossed before. So if it brings peace of mind, at the very least, I think he will be recognized.
Well, Whitestone has always been a friend to the dead.
Okay.
Lots of tombs. You could have a proper burial, I mean.
Well, that sounds
I don't know.
Sure, Whitestone.
But like, dear Whitestone, here's a body. Hope you know what to do with it, sort of a
It's actually
thing.
a really nice card. I would be very impressed. I would be honored to have that.
Would it be like a card with like a setup and like a punchline inside?
How do we know who to even send it to? Just should we write it to VM to?
No, if we're going to Whitestone, it would be the Lord and Lady of Whitestone, and we would, I guess, send a message saying that we have a wayward member of Vox Machina.
Before we depart, I'm sorry. I just feel like we should say goodbye to Mr. Bell. You know, I mean, I assume you're gonna wrap him up or something, or put him away, or
No, what you say is true. If you would like to take a moment and give your regards to the deceased before I ensure his final destination.
I've said my goodbyes already.
Well, I'll say something. Then I'll just go over next to him and say, Mr. Bell, we didn't know you very long, but and you sort of, I felt like you were fibbing a lot to us, but you know, you brought us all together, and that's important. That's something positive. And it seemed like you were out to do good in the world, which is also positive. And so for that, I think we just say thank you. You know, they say that the word goodbye is the hardest word to say, but it's not. It's Worcestershire. That's the hardest word to say.
Confused on how to say it.
So goodbye, and we'll always remember you.
That was beautiful.
It was lovely.
Lovely. I'm gonna go over to Bertrand, put my hand on him, take out my shears and just cut a few chunks of his hair off. Tuck it away. It's a very useful substance, hair. It can be used for many things.
Very good.
No, it's good. It's a part of him.
Yeah, it's, and it's a part of him. Yes. Yes.
I'll follow Laudna and I'll put my hand on her shoulder and just kind of lean in and I'll just say, I'm still working on your song.
Well, I'll walk over and pull out some extra ribbon. Tie it around his wrist with an oleander flower. Pop it in. Oh, Birdie. Listen, I really didn't trust you. And I heard that you didn't like jazz. And jazz is chaos. And I don't know how you can't love it. But you're an old boy, and maybe wherever you have gone, you have learned to love jazz. And I lean over and kiss him on the forehead.
Fine. Hey, so, I guess in just a couple of days, you will have been gone longer than I knew you. Thanks for the job.
Morris looks on.
Mister, do you want to say anything? Good boy. That was so sweet.
Lord Estroth looks around and goes, "You'll be taken care of. Good luck."
He really did bring us all together.
He did.
You're very right in that.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's quite wonderful.
It was a gift.
Yes.
Literally the only thing he did. Literally. That was it.
Well, I mean, he was present in some of our skirmishes.
Killed a table.
Prove it.
Oh, he stabbed you?
He
stabbed
stabbed
me.
He stabbed you?
Well, I stabbed him.
That is being involved in the skirmish. I gotta
He
say.
threw a glass at you.
He did. He was feisty.
He bought you all drinks reluctantly.
There.
I wonder what happened to
And
that
rooms.
tab.
He gave you rooms.
He's also the reason that we're all here now instead of just bouncing off each other and heading on our own separate ways.
I actually don't
About to be
know,
murdered.
Mr. Esros,
Yes.
if our tab was paid for, because Bertrand put everything on his tab,
He left
so
a mountain of debt, there's no doubt.
Well, they are more than welcome to find him and make him pay.
All right, we'll get out of your hair.
All right.
I
Be
give
safe.
Bertrand one final pat on his, I don't know, his feet maybe.
Perfect.